As a young man, the first genre of movies that I was obsessed with was science fiction. I remember seeing Star Wars: A New Hope way back in '77 as a 7-year-old in the theaters with my parents, and I was hooked. Now, 2023 has not exactly been a big year for science fiction films. Not counting superhero movies, I really can't think of many that were released in the theaters. 65 was out earlier this year, but that was a flop and a very mediocre film. They Cloned Tyrone was great. I loved it. I did a review on it. But that was a Netflix-only movie. So I was excited when I saw the trailer for The Creator a few months ago. A true sci-fi film that isn't a superhero film? That's nice. Directed by Garth Edwards, who gave us Rogue One, the only good Star Wars movie produced since 1983. You don't agree with me? Too bad. That's my opinion. I was in for this movie. So this past weekend, The Creator hit the theaters. So, what do we have here? Is it a big screen sci-fi hit? First one of the year? Or, well, not so much. But before we get into that, let's discuss the plot without providing too many spoilers. So our movie begins with a commercial about how AI is here to improve our lives and take care of us. However, it then cuts to a nuclear explosion in Los Angeles. We then learn that, for some unknown reason, AI blew up a nuke in LA, killing millions of people. The United States then turns to ban all AI, not only here but around the world, citing it as a potential menace to all life. By doing this, they launch a war not only against AI, but countries harboring and making it. Now, as a future war between the human race and AI rages on, ex-Special Forces agent Joshua is recruited to hunt down and kill the Creator, the elusive architect of advanced AI. Now, the Creator has developed a mysterious weapon that has the power to end the war and all of mankind. As Joshua and his team of elite operatives venture into enemy-occupied territory, they soon discover that the world-ending weapon is actually an AI in the form of a young girl. Sounds interesting, right? And with all the recent talk about AI, it seems poignant for the time. But is it a good movie or no? Well, I'm here to tell you this is probably the most bipolar film I've seen all year. Because when it's good, it's really good. But when it's bad, it's a confusing mess. Now, you will be hard-pressed to find a more visually stunning film. This one has special effects that are breathtaking and realistic and put DC and Marvel movies to shame. I mean, the AIs, they have human faces and they look real. You can tell a lot of care and creativity went in creating this movie. Also, it's pretty well acted. We get good performances from Gemma Chan, who plays Maya, the lead female whose story drives the film. Now, Chan came to popularity in Crazy Rich Asians and various roles in the MCU. John David Washington plays our main character, Joshua, an emotionally and physically scarred Special Forces operative who goes from soldier, who just sees things in black and white, to someone who realizes that there may be more to this whole thing than what he was told. But this is the perfect time to discuss the bipolar nature of this film, because while Washington is great for the most part, there are times when his character is so annoying. I mean, if you played a drinking game where you took a shot every time he screamed Maya, man, they'd have to carry you out of the theater. You also have a story that just jerks along. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't make any sense. So where the Creator fails biggest is in its script, which, after some imaginative world building in the beginning, quickly devolves first into joyless action and then into heavy-handed political allegory that isn't really creative or thought-provoking. And the big mystery of who or why the AI launched this nuclear weapon, when you get to finally find out why and what happened, it's just kind of a throwaway line, and you're like, oh, okay, oh, that's kind of blah. Now, I think the biggest shame about all of this is that we are always crying for new and original movies, especially in the sci-fi genre. But it's not very new or original. And if early returns are indicative of anything, this movie does not look like it's going to be a big hit. So bottom line, we have an original movie that's not very original, a standalone movie that doesn't quite stand up to its lofty premise, and despite spectacular visuals, some fascinating world building, and amazing special effects, the overall story feels confused, muddled, and frankly not very creative. And it's a shame because I had high hopes for this one. I can't really recommend you spend your hard-earned money to see it. It's not terrible. I mean, you could watch it at some point, but just keep your expectations low. Well, that's it for me this week. Tune in next week where you will get my final thoughts on Peacock's The Continental, a John Wick story, being that the third part comes out this week. But until then, keep hitting that like button, keep subscribing, keep sharing this video with friends and enemies alike. And as always, thank you for giving me your valuable time, and I will see you next week. Take care.